In today's video, I'm going to talk about Chapter 3 in Chuck Swindoll's book, Hand Me Another Brick. This chapter is entitled Preparation for a Tough Job. In this section, Swindoll continues his study on spiritual leadership by exploring the first part of Nehemiah 2. He asks the following question: how do you handle conflict with a superior? Now, to remind you of the context of the story here, Israel has been in captivity, and some of the Jews have gone back to Jerusalem. However, all is not well in their homeland. The wall that protected them is now in shambles. Things are not looking good on the home front, and this news has devastated Nehemiah. However, despite this terrible state of affairs, Nehemiah is faithful, and he turns to the only place he knows to turn. He turns to God. He prays diligently for about 4 months, seeking God's face and hoping for direction and God's intervention and giving him a way to help his homeland. Now, Swindoll walks through this part of the story. He notes 4 principles of what he calls principles of preparation. He really focuses in on the fact that it was 4 months between Nehemiah understanding or learning about the problem and being able to do anything about it. And those 4 months were characterized by prayer. Swindoll says first that changing a heart, the first principle he comes to with this principle of preparation is that changing a heart is God's specialty. In other words, let God change the hearts of those above you. Second, praying and waiting go hand in hand. Swindoll encourages his readers to be patient as God goes about his work. Third, Swindoll says that faith is not a synonym for disorder or a substitute for careful planning. In his mind, faith should breed organization. And fourth, according to Swindoll, opposition is to be expected when God's plan or God's will is being carried out. Many people hate God, and they don't want his plans to succeed. So anytime you take a stand for the Lord, you're going to run into those who are opposing you. And they could be your superiors, they could be colleagues, they could be competitors, whoever. But just remember that. It's not for the faint-hearted, which is another reason why we need to pray. Well, that brings it on down then in the chapter, because remember now in this part of the chapter, Nehemiah is really the cupbearer to the king, so he's got somebody he's reporting to. He cannot just pull up stakes, go to Jerusalem and fix things. He needs not only permission, but quite frankly, he needs financial assistance and the blessing of the king to be able to do that. So here's how Nehemiah handled this potential conflict with his boss as he's waiting for God to intervene. First, he realized his own limitations. Like Swindoll had said, only God can change a man's heart. Second, he turned to God, which involved praying and waiting. Third, while he was praying and waiting, though, he organized a feasible plan of action. So when that opportunity came, he was ready to answer the call. And fourth, when things got rolling, he pressed on despite vocal opposition to execute the plan. Of course, he did this once God had opened the way. So what can we learn from this? Well, when handling conflict with our boss, we need to pray, patiently wait, plan, and persevere. Now, I don't know about you, but as you think about any kind of difficult leadership situation in your life, how often do you pair your praying with your preparation? Well, I hope this has been helpful. If you enjoy the work I'm doing here, please feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. God bless, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.